अस्सलाम वालेकुम क्लास, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग। हमारा कोर्स नेम है इंट्रोडक्शन टू इन्वायरमेंटल साइंसेस और आज हमारा लेक्चर नंबर 18 है। टॉपिक का नेम मैंने आपको कल भी बता दिया था। आज हम लोगों ने जो टॉपिक करना है लेक्चर नंबर 18 और टॉपिक का नेम है हमारा डेवलपमेंट इन अर्बनाइजेशन। इसमें हम जिस तरह से हमने कल के टॉपिक में देखा था एग्रीकल्चर के हवाले से डेवलपमेंट जिस तरह से देखी थी, उसी तरह आज हम अर्बनाइजेशन के बारे में देखेंगे कि उसमें किस तरह से डेवलपमेंट लाई जा सकती है, उसमें क्या पहले से अब तक में क्या चेंज आया है और क्या हम स्ट्रेटजीज़ कर सकते हैं। तो ये सारी जो डेवलपमेंट की एक हिस्ट्री है उसको आज हम देखेंगे। स्टार्ट करते हैं अपने आज के टॉपिक से। अर्बनाइजेशन इज़ द प्रोसेस ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ इन अर्बन एरियाज़. There are many ways to define an urban population, for example, by population density, population magnitude, governmental and administrative, political boundaries, or economic functions. Some states describe their urban population as but those people living within certain administrative governmental limits. For example, in Iraq, there are administrative centers, municipality councils. In Bangladesh and Pakistan, a municipality or municipal corporation, a town committee or a cantonment board. Population size or population density is the major consideration for classifying urban population in other countries. The most important difficulty in studying urbanization is that there is no universal standard for the classification of urban miles. Almost all countries around the world differentiate among urban and rural population. Nonetheless, the universal definition of urban region differs among countries, and in certain cases it even varies over time in a particular country. There is another problem which causes a concentrate in urbanization research, which is the deficiency of consistent and latest demographic statistics. Census data is the key source of information on distinct metropolises, but then again, census generally takes place merely just the once each decade and then yields more than a few years to be inspected and released. In many countries, there is no availability of novel census data since the 90s or even the 80s. Due to this reason, latest urban data is actually credited from data that is entirely outdated. Urbanization in Pakistan. Pakistan has long been a nation defined by its geography. It is a country where majority of the population is based and where the largest industries are ensconced. Pakistan is the urbanizing at an annual rate of 3%, the fastest pace in South Asia. Metropolitan cities are facing rapid urbanization as the population of Karachi alone has raised 80% from 2000 to 2010, the biggest raise of any municipality in the world. The United Nations Population Division estimates that by 2050, nearly half of the country's population will be living in cities as compared to the one-third of the population at present. According to Berkey 2011, Pakistan is at the threshold of a major demographic transition. Literature suggests that for municipal management, there should be political and economic decentralization accompanied by marketing and flexibility in municipal actions. Flexibility here can be best interpreted in terms of ability of the governance institution to adapt to the changing environment. Literature also suggests that municipalities play a vital role in provision of basic infrastructure, maintaining law and order and harmony in society. A sound system of governance demands civic engagement and participation of all players, including the corporate and civil society, to accompany the state for municipal management and achieving the above state objects. Causes of rapid urbanization. The phenomenal increase in urbanization in Pakistan may be attributed to two major causes, which include natural growth in population and internal migration. According to according to the current statistic, Pakistan's total population is rising 2% every year, and if the trend continue, it will increase from 180 million today to 380 million people by 2050. The other factor is rural to urban migration. Much of this important movement has been driven by war and conflict. At the time of Indo-Pak partition in 1947, millions of Indian Muslims entered Pakistan and many established roots in urban areas of Sindh and Punjab provinces. Similar influxes occurred during wars with India in 1965 and 71. More recently, military of offences in Pakistan's tribal areas and Afghanistan have triggered an exodus of people to Pakistani cities, particularly Peshawar, Quetta, and Karachi. At the same time, many Pakistanis, particularly farmers and fishermen, afflicted by rural water shortages and natural disaster including flooding and earthquakes, are relocating to cities to seek better livelihoods. Other are Others are doing to have access to better quality healthcare, employment, and educational opportunities more often available in urban areas. Approaches to urbanization. A review of the literature suggests that approaches to urbanization have changed over time as a result of change in development thinking. Traditionally, urbanization was reviewed as a problem and unnecessary burden on infrastructure and limited available resources, which require an immediate solution on the part of government. However, in recent areas, it is considered as a natural phenomena and a necessary good which needs to be managed through effective urban governance on the part of government, corporate sector, and civil society organizations. This emerging concept of urbanization is the outcome of a paradigm shift in development thinking over the years in terms of changing role of the state in society. Government, under the new mode of governance, has to steer, facilitate, regulate, and collaborate for efficient and effective delivery of services to people, in contrast to its traditional roles of command, control, and sole provider of public services. The shift in urbanization started taking place in the 1980s, firstly in the developed countries and then gradually spread over in developing countries including Pakistan. In order to fully understand the shift in urban development thinking, it is important to look at various approaches to urbanization over time. In this regard, the major shift in urbanization can be traced back to 1960s and classified into four major phases, namely conventional approach in 1960s, complementary approach in 70s, new public management approach in 80s, governance approaching during 80s and onwards. According to the conventional approach of 60s, movement of migrants to the urban areas and filling the available infrastructure without considering the property loss was considered as an evil thing. The development at that time was viewed only in terms of economic growth. Thus, migration which resulted in increasing urbanization rate was considered as a problem due to having unnecessary burden on existing infrastructure resulting in low economic growth. According to this point of view, poor should not move towards cities, and to demolish their state settlement in the cities was a right solution to discourage their migration towards cities. In the second phase of development during 1970s, the failure of the conventional approach and trickle down theory was recognized as it could not bring the desired outcome in terms of economic growth. This led to the introduction of complementary approach aimed at poverty reduction by investing in development of human capital through universal primary education, adult education, training and development and capacity building, etc. The aim in both was the development of the migrants and the provision of basic infrastructure facilities to the existing settlement by the government. Conclusions. Swift growth of municipalities is an ongoing process in developed as well as developing countries, including Pakistan. This results in an upsurge in the degree of urbanization. This fact pace, this fast pace of urbanization is posing substantial challenges in return in terms of governance, poverty, unemployment, sewerage, transportation, housing, etc. These challenges need to be addressed by policymakers and governing bodies of the countries, which indigenous solution in the form of people-centric policies and their effective implementation and evaluation. To successfully address urbanization challenges, we need to understand various approaches and trend toward urbanization, as the solution may not work in isolation. The paper utilizing from the urban government's approach recommends for developing potential of individual for request skills, knowledge, building of infrastructure facilities, research and development, building of linkages among agriculture and academia, a sustainable local governance system, and strong collaboration among governance partners, including the government, corporate sector, and civil society organizations. As if economic growth, human development, and augmented urbanization could be managed and governed efficaciously. Only then there is a hope for effective governance in Pakistan. Thank you. It's all about today's topic. Allah Hafiz.